Good afternoon. I'm going to introduce myself in our language. I would say, H.O.W, Ettawageshik and Dijnakas, Waganuktsing and Donjaba. I said the sparrowhawk is the mark of my family or my totem. Noonday is my name, and I come from that land of that place of the crooked tree, which is in northern lower Michigan. I'm known as Frank Ettawageshik on my driver's license, and I also carry these traditional names. Indian people, Native people, Indigenous people, we carry we carry our past with us as well as we work towards the future. I want to acknowledge all of the elders and the teachers that have been helpful in my life, that have helped teach me, and that without whom I wouldn't be here today to be able to be speaking to you. I came from ceremonies that we've had just this past weekend, and while there was a song that was sung, and I want to sing that for you, and then I'm going to talk about it briefly. Nibe gijage go, gimme gwetchawen nime go, gijawen nime go, nibe gijage go, gimme gwetchawen nime go, gijawen nime go, nibe gijage go, gimme gwetchawen nime go, gijawen nime go, nibe gijage go, gimme gwetchawen nime go, gijawen nime go. Oh, that song says, water, we love you, we thank you, we respect you. And that is a song that's being sung often in many of our lodges and ceremonies these days as we deal with our sacred responsibilities. For Native people, caring for the waters is not merely a matter of practicality. It's a matter of that dealing with that sacred responsibility that we have in our everyday life. The tribal governments and individual tribal citizens, all of us are working in different ways to protect the waters that we have and to meet those responsibilities. There are perils of things of the modern world, one of which is a concept of commodification of the water. Because the water is a commonly held natural essential resource. And we need to think of it in that way. It's not something that is owned by individuals, but something that is cared for because it's essential to all of us. Each one of us here started our lives in our mother's womb in that water. And that water is in our blood, it's in our bodies, it's throughout, it's in the tears, it's in the rain, it flows through the veins of Mother Earth. Caring for the water in our culture is a woman's role. But in addition to that role that they have as they take that on, the men, our responsibility is to assist them with that. And so I do everything that I can and have done as a leader and as an individual to try to help train myself to do the best I can at helping to protect and preserve the water. What we know of is that we can live without oil. Be a little inconvenient. It's been hard to get the gas in my car to get me down here today, you know, but nevertheless, we lived as human beings on this earth for thousands and thousands of years without relying on oil. It's only recently that oil has become so important. We can live without gold. Now, that's also a bit inconvenient here and there, but gold is an essential to our lives. But we cannot live without water, which makes water a completely different thing for us to think about. We're taught in the Native community to think through the consequences of our actions through a time period long enough to encompass 7 generations. And I like to think of that, it's not something you count out 7 and there's a thing, but each generation is another generation down the road. It's like going down the road at night with driving the car and your headlights are shining ahead of you, and every 100 yards further you go down the road, your lights go further. Well, it's that same thing. It's a buffer. It's a time in front of us that we're to think through. What are the consequences of our actions? Not just a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, but a 7-generation plan. Well, not only do we think about that, you know, when we look at that, but each one of us in this room is also someone's 7th generation. What is it that brought us to this room? And to all those that are listening through the internet, what's bringing you to be here, to be listening to this conference? Those things that our ancestors did that helped bring us, get us in the right mindset, the right education, where we live geographically, all of those things came together to get us in this room. Well, we also look at that, what are we going to leave for those people, those 7 generations to come? When they're considering this, what is it that they're going to have? We have choices to make. We can make choices that enhance and help and encourage and make the world a better place. We can do nothing, or we can actually take decisions that will make it a little less, that will cause harm. We're taught that we need to walk softly on Mother Earth, to leave very light footprints, do the best we can. 7 generations from now, my hopes are that we have healthy waters, a healthy environment, prosperous communities, safe, happy, healthy children. It's a fairly simple goal, and yet it is extremely difficult to get there. Hopefully through this conference that we have and others like it, and in all the work that we individually, each one of us, do in our lives, we can make that vision come to pass. Miigwech, thank you.